Hello, here is a quick video to show you how to use this assessment tool. This is really good to help your reps figure out who they should be talking to and prioritizing to recruit as new leaders, maybe not as reps, but to serve some role in your union, either communicating with members or helping folks access resources or just being involved. That's the lifeblood of the union. And then it is also a tool to help your association prioritize recruitment. So the first thing you're going to need, share my screen, is your building list. So this is a fake list I created for the simulation. This would be, as you can see down here in the tab, that this is members. So you would create the fields that you think are pertinent. So here we have first name, last name, phone number, email, and their position. What we're assessing for, a couple pointers. So I created these fields, and they're going to hold, I'm going to have the same fields across members and non-members. It just is helpful as we begin to gather information on non-members to have similar data. When you create your spreadsheet, go ahead and freeze this top line if you know how to do that. So imagine if, a normal school has more than 3 employees, so that would remain in place as you scroll down. So your first sift, as I'll call it, your rep will go, actually it works best if you have both members of your worksite team assessing the list, because this is really trying to identify people's natural existing relationships as a basis to do the recruitment. So people are going to have different knowledge and different relationships. So it really works best if you have both your reps from each work site look at the list together. The first sift is identifying natural leaders. These are folks we're going to want our reps to really invest in, show some love to, sit down, maybe not sit down in a real person, but, to have them try to set up a one-on-one meeting. We're going to ask these folks to step into leadership. The first sift, you go through the members, identifying natural leaders, people that folks in the building know, they respect them. A lot of folks go to them for help and assistance and their opinions. So naturally that's going to be your reps, but we're looking for folks that are not already and currently playing a role, an active role in the association. So you do the search for natural leaders, column F, first with your members, and then you do it again also for non-members. There are natural leaders in the building that aren't in the association at all, and your reps probably know who they are. So here, Becky Smecky is a natural leader and not a union member. Okay, so we do that sift. Then our next sift, we're going to return back to our members list, and we're going to assess our members on some particular question. So in Alexandria, we're trying to gear up and get ready for collective bargaining, or to win the right to collectively bargain. So the question that we're looking at is, where do we believe, and this is all speculation, but based on people's knowledge of folks and their relationship, do we believe they would support us and get more engaged in the association on the question of building for collective bargaining? Now, for your school, it might be a different issue. Maybe it's, people are angry because healthcare costs are going up and you want to activate them on that. Or it could be that, wages were frozen. Whatever the issue is, it's best to get very precise in the assessment of, assessing everybody on a particular question, not like unionism in general or your association, but what do you think would activate them and move them from, many cases, being less engaged to more engaged. This tool is really for the non-members, but you can see here, this person ranked Sharon Barron as a natural leader and also very pro-union, but they're not playing any official role in the association right now. So we're going to try to move her up the leadership chain. When we switch to the non-members database, they've identified Becky Smecki as someone who's a natural leader and someone who's probably with us on the question of collective bargaining. The instructions for this workflow are here. I'll share the document with you. It says, we just use this in ACPS. For ACPS employees, it was very helpful. So you want to capture all this. Also, I would like to have folks work directly onto the spreadsheet because that's shareable and tweakable, and it's something to track in real time. It's easy to track. So the potential members, what we did here is we started off really prioritizing the natural leaders. Go and identify 5 to 10 of those because leaders bring followers with them. So that's actually the most important part. Then switch to focusing really on your non-member list to seek out your potential members. What I find is most reps are surprised when they really look in detail about who's not members, especially folks that are outspoken. Those seem like low-hanging fruit, so we'll make a plan to get to them. The other thing we could do, of course, is if there's a big chunk of non-members, then we can figure out how do we do a particular event just for them, right? Those seem to be pretty successful. Down here in the bottom of the instructions, you'll see the ranking for the assessment. Number 1, natural leader, has lots of energy. They would probably support the goal of collecting bargaining. We haven't talked to them about it. We haven't talked to them what their concerns are about the COVID or returning to school. So these are folks you want to prioritize. Number 2, these are non-members, someone who shows signs of leadership, but we're not really sure how they feel about the association or collective bargaining. Your 3s are folks that are just kind of unknown quantity. Maybe they're quieter. We don't know what they feel about the union or about any particular issue. So we probably need more context for these folks by the end of the year. So maybe some of the new recruits know them, or maybe other people involved in the association know them. So look for friends of these folks to try to get a better read of them. Your 4s are people that are anti-union. They're mad at you, or they don't like unionism in general. 5s are people that are activists against you. They're credible. I would say 4s are also kind of like curmudgeonly. People don't really follow them, but 5s are folks that have some sway, and they could just really damage your effort. So ideally, in the course of a year, you may start off with a list that's got a lot of 3s. By the end of the year, you should be able to clear that list. You don't want anyone unspoken to and unclear about where they are, right? So that's usually the goal, and you work that process at least once a year. So it works pretty well. There's step 1 in assessing your workplace, and there's a planning phase that should come after this. Events for non-members, for members, for work sites, for particular groups of workers. And then there's also formation of structure, which I could do in a follow-up video. Anyway, hope that was helpful. That's it. Thank you.